Hi, well, happy Thursday. This is Independent Senior Sales Director Mallory James, all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm so excited and honored to be on the $1 Million Message with you guys today. And I just want to keep it short, sweet, and simple, and I want to go over some basic Mary Kay training today because I feel like we can never have too much training on our skills in our business. So I wanted to kick off with you guys today and talk about just some basic stuff as far as your business goes. So we're going to cover turning the facial into a party, coaching the appointment, booking interviews, following up. We're going to go through this stuff and talk about it today because I feel like it's something we can all gain some confidence in, and a lot of it is the mechanics to our business. So first things first, what I wanted to talk to y'all about, I feel like, January is going strong. We're kicking it off with a great month. Everybody's excited for the 2020 year and the 2020 vision. And so why not, just keep working those faces and doing everything the full circle Mary Kay way. And so one thing I wanted to talk to you guys today is about turning the facial into a party. And that's what I'm going to start with first. So here's the big deal. I love turning facials into a party, and I feel like there was a time when I was a consultant where I felt like I struggled turning, the facial into a party, and I had to kind of learn how to do that. And so I'm going to walk you guys through that. So once you have the facial booked, okay, and you've reached out to her, you've booked a date and a time, and you have your, everything ready to go. And so let's say that I am, going to do a facial with my friend Kristen on, Monday, the whatever at 5 o'clock, okay? So let's say we have it set, we picked, we're doing it at her house, whatever. So after my appointment is set with her, this is a script that I would send, and I would text and say, a fun thing about your appointment is that you can bring girlfriends. When you share your appointment with at least 2 or more friends over 18, you will receive a free gift and discount on your products. Is there any reason why you wouldn't want to have a few girlfriends attend your appointment with you? And that's literally, it's as simple as that. So one more time, a fun thing about your appointment is that you can bring girlfriends. When you share your appointment with at least 2 or more friends over 18, you will receive a free gift and discount on your products. Is there any reason why you wouldn't want to have a few girlfriends attend your appointment with you? Y'all, this script works amazing. It always helps me to turn my facials into parties all the time because they love to have girlfriend time and they love to be pampered. I'm literally this is like a golden ticket script right here. So she's probably going to tell you that she's going to ask her friends and get back to you, and that is totally great because she's going to get in contact with them for you. And so I'm going to go over, when I talk about coaching the appointment, what that looks like with following up with her. So now you turn your facial into a party and moving into coaching that appointment. So here's the deal. Coaching, I think sometimes it's a very simple thing, but don't underestimate the power of coaching. It's so important, and a party or a facial or any appointment worth booking is worth coaching. And to be honest with you, in my opinion, if you're not going to coach your appointment, what's the point in even booking it? Because here's what I always tell my new girls when they're coming into Mary Kay. This is what I tell them. Coaching is one of the most number one crucial skills in Mary Kay because, like I said, you can book all day long, but if you don't coach the appointment, what is the purpose in booking it? And so what is coaching? Okay, how many of you would say, well, you can answer this to yourself, but how many of you would say that you feel like coaching is a strength of yours? You can think to yourself and ask yourself if you feel like coaching is. Because coaching is a method of communication with your appointment to confirm that they are coming without giving them a way to back out on you. So to give you a prime example, this is what I always love to share with my girls. If I have an appointment booked for Sunday at 5 o'clock to get coffee with Susie, but I don't talk to Susie until Sunday in the afternoon, odds are we're probably not getting together because we've built no foundation of communication or a line of trust or communication for our appointment. She has not heard from me, anything like that. So odds are we're probably not getting together because we haven't talked and probably one of us forgot about it or, didn't hold up our end of the deal saying we were going to get together. So you want to make sure that you are coaching your appointments. It builds the foundation of your appointment because, like I said, if you don't talk to her until the day of, odds are you're probably not getting together. The foundation of your appointment is probably weak. But if let's say tonight was a Wednesday night, just to give you an example. It's Wednesday, or I can even say in this case it's Thursday, okay? So it's Thursday, and you're meeting a girl on Sunday, okay, for an appointment. And let's say you texted her today and you're following up with her, hey, how are you? You're getting her skin type, you're profiling her. You follow up with her again on Saturday and you touch base with her again on Sunday. You've built some line of communication there, and a lot of accountability is what you just built. And so one thing that I always like to share with consultants when I'm training on this, and even directors too, is that the thing about keeping that line of communication and that accountability is you, at the end of the day, are a business owner, and you have to teach people how to respect your business and how to treat your business. And so especially when you're starting your business with friends and family that you're close to, you have to show them this might be my side hustle, but this is my business and I take it very seriously. And if you take your business seriously, they will take you seriously. And so you have to be professional and draw that line and teach people how to respect your business, and coaching your appointment by staying in consistent communication with them to show them that, yes, you are, holding them accountable to their word, that they're going to be at the facial, at the party, at the interview, whatever the appointment is. You are creating that accountability and holding them to their word, and you are showing them, hey, this is my business, this is my appointment, or our appointment. You said you would be here, and I'm expecting you. And so it's the same thing with a doctor's office. If you have an appointment, they're going to call you and confirm with you, remind you. And that's the same thing. You have to keep in mind that you're running a business. And one example that I want to share is one of my hotshot girls who I love so much, Christy Chronic, in case she's listening. She just joined Mary Kay 2 or 3 months ago. And what's so awesome about Christy is that when she was getting started, I was teaching her how to coach her parties and her appointments and everything like that. And she had this one friend who, at Christy's launch party, at the end of the party, the friend stayed after and was talking to us. And she told Christy, she said, you know what? She said, I have to be honest with you. She said, I almost did not come tonight. And she said, it's not because I didn't want to, because I wanted to. And she was like, but I had a crazy, crazy day at work. My week has been slammed. I had a lot of, responsibilities at home to take care of. I was exhausted. And, to be honest, I just wanted to go home and get in the bed. And she said, but the reason why I didn't flake out on you was because I knew that you were counting on me because you had been in communication with me multiple times that week. And I literally looked at Christy, and Christy looked at me, and she was like, wow, coaching really does work. And I was like, that is just bold proof right there that is exactly why, especially with friends and family. I mean, even with people that you don't know as well, but especially with friends and family, it's so important to treat your business like a business so that they will too, because otherwise, Christy's friend that night would have canceled on her because, she was exhausted and tired, and she knew Christy would understand because they're friends. And she didn't do that because she knew Christy was holding her accountable to her word and getting her appointments to hold. So that helps build the foundation of your appointment. So that way you are not, maybe you don't have as many people canceling or falling through when you're coaching them. You're probably going to have more appointments holding. Your ratio is going to be higher. So here is how you coach, okay? So basically, let's say that I'm going to use Thursday as an example, okay? So let's say that I had a facial or a party on a Thursday, okay? So just to give you guys an example of what this would look like, I would text her on a Monday, okay, and I would say exactly this. Hey, girl, I'm so excited to see you Thursday at your house at 5:30. Quick question. Do you have dry, normal, or oily skin? Question mark. And then she's going to say, hey, okay, great, I have oily skin, whatever. Whatever she's going to say. You're going to say, okay, great, looking forward to seeing you. So that's your first form of communication. So, yes, you are pre-profiling, but, again, you are building the foundation of your appointment, and you are confirming that she's coming without giving her a way to back out on you. Because if I messaged a friend and I said, hey, Susie, are we still on for today? Or, hey, Susie, are we still on for Thursday? You're kind of giving her an out, because you're like, she's like, oh, well, actually it's not really her first priority. She's got other things to do. She's tired, and you're kind of letting her off the hook versus, hey, I'm counting on you. I can't wait to see you. Basically you're showing her you're expecting her. And so I would say, ask her that question and then, whatever. So that's on Monday, okay? The appointment is on a Thursday. So then either Tuesday or Wednesday, whichever one you prefer, you can text her again and say, hey, girl, looking forward to seeing you Thursday night at 5:30 at your house. I wanted to ask you how many friends you have joining you. And she'll probably tell you, I have 5 friends or whatever. Okay, so you'll say, okay, great. Can you send me their names and numbers so I can customize their skin types as well? Okay, so go back really quick. Let's say the appointment is on Thursday. Let's recap what we're doing. So if your appointment is on a Thursday, then that Monday you would text her and say, hey, girl, I'm so excited to see you Thursday at your house at 5:30. Quick question. Do you have dry, normal, or oily skin? And then she's going to tell you, and you say, okay, great. Then either Tuesday or Wednesday, text her again and say, hey, girl, looking forward to seeing you Thursday night at 5:30. I wanted to ask you how many friends you have joining you. Okay, and then she's going to tell you, I have, 5 friends. And you're going to say, okay, great. Can you send me their names and numbers so I can customize their skin types as well? And she's going to say yes, and then send you all their names and numbers. Now, what you will do from there is that night, whether you ask on Tuesday or Wednesday, from there what you will do is text all of those people individually, or you can call, either way, whichever you prefer. I text them, and it's worked great for me. Truthfully, a lot of my appointments hold, but, whichever you prefer. So then you would text everybody individually that she gave you the number to, and you're going to do the exact same process with them on getting their skin type. So I would text everybody on that list and say, hey, girl, looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night at Sue's house at 5:30. I'm Mallory. I'm your beauty consultant with Mary Kay for tomorrow night. Quick question for you. Do you have dry, normal, or oily skin? And if she doesn't have any friends coming with her for whatever reason, then that's totally fine. You just say, okay, awesome, I'm so excited to have a one-on-one time with you, or just something nice. I will say I'm not a big believer in Facebook groups. When you're doing a Mary Kay party, I feel like when you do a group text or a Facebook group, or, just a group anything, I feel like it takes the personalization out of the equation. And part of our business, actually our entire business, is relationships. We are a business built on relationships with people. And so I personally believe that you don't necessarily want to create those text message groups or those Facebook groups, because when you reach out to them one-on-one, personally, you're building a connection with them. You're talking to them. They now have a familiarity to you, a connection to you, and you're building that relationship. You've just opened the door, and you've now personalized that with her versus just keeping her in the crowd and putting in a group. I feel like it's more personal when you reach out one-on-one, and you're going to get more of the results that you're looking for from that, and probably make her feel more special and more excited to see you, and she probably is going to feel a little bit accountable to you after that. So get their skin types, and then the day of the appointment, the way that I confirm that they're all coming, without giving them a way to back out or anything like that, and just to show them that I'm keeping them accountable and I am expecting to see them, the day of the appointment, I text again, and if I'm going to the hostess's house, I say, hey, girl, excited for tonight at 5:30. when I get to your house, where should I park? Or if she's coming to you, you can just say, hey, girl, I'm excited for tonight. When you get here at 5:30, you can park in the driveway. Now, if they're coming to your house, you can text that script to everyone coming, everybody individually. Hey, girl, I'm excited to see you tonight at my house at 5:30. Here's my address. When you get here, you can park in the driveway. And if they're going to the hostess's house, just text them the same thing, but tell them, hey, I talked to Susie. We can park here when we get here. I'm looking forward to seeing you at 5:30. So like I said, one thing I also wanted to point out for you guys is that you notice I'm constantly reaffirming the date, the time, and the place. And so, and that's a strategic part on my part to make sure, you're telling them multiple times to keep it in their mind, to keep it in the forefront of their mind so they're not forgetting. And I'm literally confirming everything about the appointment. So you see the difference? It really builds your foundation and your strength of your appointment, and you've now made them accountable and showed them you take your business seriously and everything like that. So, okay. The last thing I will say on coaching is it's not pushy at all. It's just persistent. Like I said, just like a doctor's office. And consistency is 100% key in this business. And so consistent communication with anybody, no matter what you're doing with your business, is always going to be the key for you. And so I want you guys to keep that in mind, that it is not pushy. So don't let that limiting belief sit on your mind. And just remember that you are a business owner. And at the end of the day, you are a consistent one at that, and you're professional. Okay, so one thing I want to talk to you guys about as well is booking interviews. I won't go into too much detail today because I'm giving you all a lot, but of information, and we don't want to overload. But I will say one thing with booking interviews is I always encourage people to share with everybody, because you want to you never know who is going to say yes, and you always want to share the opportunity with everybody and let them decide. And so one little tip that I have when it comes to booking interviews is whenever you, when somebody hosts a party for you and, they're a customer of yours, I first of all would say don't interview people unless they have tried the product, because first of all, you want to work your business full circle. You don't want to work microwave Mary Kay. And secondly, you want her to fall in love with the product, and you want her to be a believer in it, because if she loves it and she believes in it, then she can sell it. And so you want to make sure you're working it full circle and you're not cutting edges. And I was always taught from my mom, National Sales Director Cecilia James, don't ever interview anybody unless they have tried the product or they are a current customer, because, that's our Mary Kay way. That's our founding, principle. They want to be on our product, know it, believe in it, have a connection with it, things like that. So make sure they are face holder, have tried the product first. And then just tell them, hey, girl, look. And you can take the pressure off them and say, look, girl, I know you would probably never do Mary Kay in a million years, but I am in a challenge to learn to move up, and I'm learning to do what my director is doing. And I would love if I could just borrow your ears just for 30 minutes one day so I could practice my training on you over a free cup of coffee. Is there any reason why you wouldn't be willing to help me with my goal? Literally, that is how I built my unit, built my business off that script. That is like my team building, golden script go-to. And that's all I say. I mean, that's how I got my Offspring Sales Director as well. And it works, that's just, I believe in sharing with everybody. So that is booking interviews, my little 2 cents. And the last thing I wanted to go over really quick is just make sure that you're always following up with people. It's totally okay to be consistent with follow-up. Sometimes, actually, there's probably a good portion of your business that is going to come from following up with people, and fortune is in the follow-up. And I just want to encourage you to be consistent with it and to not give up on people, because you never know when the next try is going to be the try or the right try. And the last story that I want to leave you guys with really quick is when I was a red jacket, I had facialed a girl, and she so this is like crazy, and some of you probably know this story, but this girl was brought to a facial by a friend, and I facialed both of them. We did parties, whatever. And then I went with my director to, do an interview with them and do a coffee chat, share the opportunity with them. And the girl was sitting at the table, and she told my director, I was only a red jacket, so, my director did the interview with me and my mom, and she was like, paint me a picture of what this would look like for me if I did this. And so my director painted the picture, everything like that. And she was like totally into it, totally going to sign, so excited about it. And then at the very end, she was like, I'm going to talk to my husband, think about it, I'll let you know. And I was like, dang, she curved me. But no, I'm just kidding. But anyway, I was like, dang. And so when we left that day, I was like, okay, like she'll talk to her husband, I'll follow up with her, whatever. Well, when I was getting in the car that day, I was talking to my director, and she was like, listen, she was like, I don't know when, but I do know that I promise you that girl is going to be your offspring sales director one day. Like, just watch. I believe it. And I was like, okay. So, like, now I'm getting, like, hype, right? And I'm like, I'm excited. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to definitely be consistent and follow up with this girl. And so I had told her about the weekly success nights that we have, our weekly meetings. And so the next week I followed up with her, and I said, hey, girl, we have our weekly success night tonight at 7. I would love to see you and have you as my guest. Is there any reason why you wouldn't be able to join me? And she, like, gave me some excuse as to why she couldn't go. And so I was like, okay, like, no worries. Well, a week goes by, and the next week comes around, and I texted her again. And I said, hey, girl, we have another success meeting tonight. Like, we're doing a face model thing. I would love for you to be my model. Like, is there any reason why you wouldn't want to come and hang out? And I didn't even get a reply, I don't think. Like, I don't even think she texted me back. And I'm like, okay, so now she's ghosting me. And, at this point, I feel like a lot of people would have given up. They'd be like, okay, she didn't join, on the spot. And then she, gave me an excuse last week, and now she didn't text me back this week. So I'm just going to give up, okay? And I feel like a lot of people would have stopped there. But I knew that fortune was in the follow-up, and I needed to keep going. So the week after that, I texted her again, third try, okay? Messaged her, invited her to the weekly success night. I got nothing. She didn't even text me back. Or if she did, she, like, gave me an excuse. Okay. So the fourth week, okay, so the next week, okay, this is now 4 weeks since I have interviewed her. And I texted her again, and I have either heard nothing or I've heard excuses. And I said the same thing. Hey, girl, like, I think Gloria was in town that weekend, and I was like, we're having a big event tonight, like this big hot shot and Mary Kay. Like, I was like hyping Gloria up. She's coming. Like, you need to come, everything like that. And she finally was like, okay, like, I can come tonight. God only knows what made her decide to finally come that night, but praise God that something did. And so she came to the meeting and got really excited, fell in love with Mary Kay, and really just saw it for everything it could be, and joined my team like 2 days later, and ended up becoming a red jacket that year, and then a DIQ. And now I will tell you the best part of the story. She is now my offspring sales director. And so that just makes me so happy to even talk about. And it's just so cool because, if I would have just given up on her and not followed up, she probably wouldn't even be in Mary Kay right now, and she wouldn't be my offspring. And so thank God that I decided to follow up, even though I felt as if I was being rejected. I felt, like ignored because she wasn't replying or giving me excuses. And I was persistent because I knew I saw something in her, and I wanted her to take this opportunity for herself because I saw what it could do for her. And here we are. And now she's a car driving sales director, and she's doing great and is a mom now. And, it's just totally changed the trajectory of her kid's life. And so you don't know what you're missing by not following up with people. So please don't ever take it for granted and just let yourself off the hook. Always make sure that you follow up because you never know when that next try is going to be your special try. So thank you for your time today. I hope you guys learned from this, and I hope that you can take away. I love you guys, and y'all have a great rest of your week.